So, we all know that this is going to come sooner or later. Sad, but we knew this was going to come. Jobless, selling nudes online, and still struggling. OnlyFans, social media platform that allows people to sell explicit photos of themselves, has boomed during the pandemic. The competition on site means many won't earn much. Of course. Savannah Benavides stopped working at her job as a medical biller in June to take care of her 2-year-old son after his daycare shut down. Being a way to pay her bills, she created an OnlyFans account on social media platform where users sell original content for 2 monthly subscribers and started posting photos of herself nude or in lingerie. Ms. Benavides, 23, has made $64,000 in July, enough not just to take care of her own bills, but to help her family and friends with rent and car payments. It's more money than I ever had in any job, she said. I have more money than I know what to do with. Lexi Ixenberger was hoping for a similar windfall when she started on OnlyFans account in November. A restaurant worker in Billings, Montana, Miss Ixenberger, 22, had been laid off 3 times during the pandemic and was in so need for cash by October that she had to drop out of dental hygiene school. After donating plasma and doing odd jobs, she still didn't have enough to pay her bills. So, at the suggestion of some friends, she turned to OnlyFans. She has made only $500 so far. OnlyFans, founded in 2016 and based in Britain, has boomed to the popularity during the pandemic. As of December, it had more than 90 million users and more than 1 million content creators, up from 120,000 to 2019. The company declined to comment for this article. With millions of Americans unemployed, some like Ms. Benavides and Ms. Ixenberger are turning to OnlyFans in an attempt to provide for themselves and their families. The pandemic has taken a particular devastating toll on women and mothers, wiping out parts of the economy where women dominate: retail businesses, restaurants, and healthcare. A lot of people are migrating to OnlyFans out of desperation, said Angela Jones, an associate professor of sociology at the State of University of New York at Farmingdale. There are people who are worried about eating. They're worried about keeping on the lights. They're worried about not being evicted. But for every person like Ms. Benavides who is able to use OnlyFans as a primary source of income, there are dozens more like Ms. Ixenberg who hope for a windfall and end up with little more than $500, few $100, and worries that the photos will hinder their ability to get a job in the future. It's already an incredible saturated market, Ms. Jones said of the explicit content online. The idea that people are just going to open up an OnlyFans account and start raking in dough is really misguided. The most successful content creators are often models, porn stars, and celebrities who already have a large social media following. They can use their other online platforms to drive followers to their OnlyFans, where they offer exclusive content to those willing to pay a monthly fee, even personalized content in exchange for tips. OnlyFans takes a 20% cut of any pay. Some creators receive tips, though mobile payment apps which aren't subject to that cut. Ms. Benavides earns most of her money this way, but many of the creators who join the platform out of dire financial need do not have social media followings or any way to drum up consistent business. Elle Marico of West Palm Beach, Florida, was laid off from her job as an office manager in July. Her unemployment checks don't cover her $1,600 monthly rent, utility bills, and food costs as she joined OnlyFans in November. But Ms. Morocco, 36, had no social media presence to speak of when she joined the platform, and has had to gain subscribers one by posting pictures of herself on Instagram and Twitter and following up with people who like and comment on her posts, encouraging each one to subscribe to OnlyFans. It's more challenging and time-consuming than she expected and less financially rewarding. It's a full-time job on top of your full-time job. Looking for work, she said. Fans want to see you posting daily. You're always churning. You're always taking pictures to post. She just made $250 on the platform so far, despite sometimes spending upward of 8 hours a day creating and posting and promoting content. Ms. Marca also worries that her presence on the platform will make it more difficult for her to be hired for traditional jobs in the future. Of course it will. There was a woman who was a mechanic for a Ford dealership in one of the southern states, and her fellow coworkers found out that she was doing OnlyFans, and they started making dirty jokes. And she complained to the boss, and the boss found out about her OnlyFans side gig and fired her because he had to look out for the image of the company. Sorry, that's how it goes. They're not going to say, well, you're on hard times, so it's okay that you're a sex worker on the side and that you're also wearing company uniform on your part-time sexcapades. It's all good. No. He had to fire her. If you're looking for a 9-to-5, they might not hire you if they find out you have OnlyFans. She said they may not want you if they know you're a sex worker. Digital sex work can give the illusion of safety and privacy. Content creators can get paid without having to interact with clients in person, but that doesn't mean there aren't risks. I've said this before when they try to legalize sex work and say sex work is real work. You're going to have creeps and pervs coming out the woodwork. Online sex work is much more appealing alternative to many people that are then going onto the streets or selling direct sex services, said Barb Brents, a professor of sociology at the University of Nevada, Las Vegas. That said, anybody getting into this kind of work needs to be aware that there are dangers. Last April, a mechanic, yep, I did a live stream on this, yep. Last April, a mechanic in Indiana lost her job at a Honda dealership after management learned that she had an OnlyFans account. Creators can be the target of doxing, a form of online harassment in which users publish private or sensitive information about someone without permission. In December, the New York Post published an article about a New York City medic who was using OnlyFans to supplement her income. The medic believed that the article published without her consent would damage her reputation and get her fired from her job. Creators also can be subject to capping, a practice in which users take unauthorized screenshots or recordings and then share them elsewhere on the internet. OnlyFans creators have also received death and rape threats on social media. And you all this is happening, and you have these feminists and liberal women, leading the charge, trying to legalize sex work. And this is what sex workers are going to be faced with. OnlyFans content creators can face not just professional consequences, but personal ones too. Ms. Exeter has been keeping her account secret from her father, but knows he will find out now that she has gone public. I don't want to be shamed or disowned, she said. But you went to go public. I don't get it. Others say the experience has been empowering. Oh boy. Melanie Hall, a single mother of three. What? I don't believe this. I don't. How is this empowering? How? Earns $13.30 an hour as a paramedic in Northern Ohio, barely enough to cover bills. She started an OnlyFans account in December. My mom of 3 kids. I never thought anyone would pay to see me naked, said Miss Hall, 27. It's been a confidence boost. The only reason why you say this is confidence boost is because you have 3 kids and you're too busy taking time with them in order to even go outside, to even think about dating. That's why you feel it's empowering, because you don't have a male, any man to love you. So your mind is just playing tricks, and you think this is empowering because you're lonely. She also made $700 so far, not enough to change her life, but enough to make the holidays special. This is the first year I didn't have to choose between the electric bill and Christmas presents for my kids, she said. This is the first year I've been able to do it all by myself. I wonder if they think about, the things you may have to be experiencing all by yourself. The fact that you might get sexually assaulted by some creep out there who's seen you on OnlyFans all by yourself. That you might experience being mugged all by yourself. That you might have to experience, creeps coming out of nowhere in public, making dirty remarks to you all by yourself because you're on OnlyFans. I said it before. What these women are going to be experiencing is what that character in The Players Club starring Ice Cube and Lisa Ray, when Lisa Ray's character was followed home by a Melvin. That's what you're all going to be dealing with. You're going to be dealing with a bunch of Melvins. both digital and in real life. I know it's hard out there, but I mean, damn, this is what's happening. Sad to say, you're going to have a lot of women that are into feminism. They're not only leading the charge, they're going to want to do this too, because they're not going to be able to keep up with their bills. But there always is going back to school and working less jobs that don't pay much, but at least you can look at yourself in the morning. And that should be the most important thing, to look at yourself in the morning. Sad to say, a lot of women are not going to hear what I'm saying, and they're not going to hear what other people are saying. Other men who actually respect them and just say, look, this is not the way. Don't do this. You know, you're going to end up in more trouble than you are in now. And that's what's going to happen. Sad to say, but, you know, what am I? You know, they think I'm a chauvinistic pig. You're sexist and misogynistic to even think about caring about women in this way. Just telling the truth. Okay? Let me read these comments. In many parts of the world, women are expected to keep their heads or faces covered. Earlier in the history, the U.S. peak at a woman's bare legs was considered titillating. You've seen those old houses in the South with double sets of front steps going in the opposite directions. That was so a man could walk down the other side from a woman and not get a gratuitous ankle glimpse. Even the bikini bathing suit was once scandalous. Our notions of what's embarrassing change constantly. A woman or man should be free to share or sell whatever images they want, completely without shame. You see, this feminist nonsense. Idiotic nonsense. The idea of modesty is a social construct, mostly propagated by people who don't like the way they look naked. No. It's not that, man. It's the fact. See, these feminists are going to lead these women down a very dangerous path. Okay? And they may be on it themselves. And then when something happens, they'll be like, why wasn't there a man to protect me? There was men to protect you, but you silenced them, and to think that, you know, giving sound advice was sexist. Someone who fires or declines to hire an otherwise qualified employee or candidate simply because of the existence of nude photos is simply a prude, but much more importantly, an incompetent business person who is hopefully soon to be put out of business by a more enlightened competitor. This is the madness that is in our country. Not only are we facing communism, we're facing an attack on, you know, traditional values and sanity. Prostitution is the oldest profession, yes, and you have some feminists that will tout that and be proud of that, but it's also the most dangerous profession for women, okay? Especially for children born out of those prostitutes. Like I said, this feminist crap, this stuff is meant to destroy women. It's not meant to help. It's meant to destroy women. Back in the day when women didn't have any rights, you know, it was useful. But now it's like, I want to follow the same behavior of toxic men. Man sleeps around, I want to do it too. But I don't want the consequences, though. Oh, no, I don't want the consequences. Men probably get paid for being on OnlyFans, doing male stripper stuff. I want to do it too, but I don't want to face the consequences. And you're pushing these women to, these women who women who made this comment that I just read. These women are dangerous, and they're going to lead women astray to be even more single mothers, probably catch an STD, or worse, be found under a white sheet, and their loved one has to come downtown to the morgue to identify the body. Sad to say. Here's another comment. I would hire someone who was qualified, even if they had an OnlyFans account, and I would be sure to pay them enough so they didn't have to continue selling their bodies online in order to feed their families. You have no idea what someone is going through. People will do whatever they can to feed, clothe, and house their family. That I understand. But it has to be a game plan to to that. A lot of these women want this to be a lifestyle and want to encourage other women to make this a profession. Okay, that's the problem. You're on your, there were women, right, who wanted to pass law school and they couldn't pay for it. So what they did stripping. But after they got the law degree, they quit stripping, probably moved to another part of the country, and that was that. That part of their life was dead. That dark chapter in their life was closed. But now you have these women who want to say, oh, be proud of it. Be proud of it. There's nothing proud of it to being a sex worker. It's shameful. It's dangerous and it can hurt you. This is what people don't understand about this type of life. It is dangerous. And sad to say, you have people, liberals that are leading the charge. Women that are leading the charge. And beta cucks that are right up there saying it's okay. But they're not the ones that have to identify. They're not the ones that have to identify their loved ones who possibly could end up in the worst case scenario out of this OnlyFans situation. It's a sad state of affairs. Sad state of affairs. If you like the content, like, share, comment, and subscribe. Later.